Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Good to me. It's actually this course consists of three modules. One is SQL Server. Hi, somebody arrived with this. Hello, good morning. Yeah,
Hello,
yeah. Hello, good morning. Is it Rachana? Rachana?
Rashna. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Rachana. Good morning. This is Sandeeap from India. So we just 2 minutes before started the session. So please thank you for joining. Okay. Yeah, Rachana, I will repeat that. So before starting the session, I want to introduce myself. I am Sandeepa. I am working as a senior IT consultant in Dell Services India. As an IT consultant, here I am a developer and working as a data warehousing project, which having more than 9 plus of years of IT experience in a real time. As well as when coming to training part, I have completed so far more than 20 batches in a work SQL Server with MSBI, like SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. When coming to the training part, from past 3 years, I completed, as I told you, more than 20 batches with a higher level, not a small level, higher level. With every month, we're conducting the batches in the online courses as well as classroom classes here. Here, total of our course, before starting any demo, I want to give you overview of what are the courses we complete and what are things we complete in this course. And except each batch is special to me because each batch I will share my knowledge as well as I will interact with the good students and good friends. So here this is completely practical sessions. It's a completely discussion classes, not only like classroom trainings, because here you can discuss your concerns and everything along with the topics. You can discuss everything in detail, and also after the complete of each sessions, we will provide you all the documents, like what are the things my course consists of. This especially my course consists of these many models. This is for only SQL Server. So let me give you some overview of each models. So, and I will tell you like what is the necessity of SQL Server in the current industry, why we use SQL Server when compared to the other DB models. Those are the overview I'll give you. Once I give you all the overview, if any questions from your end, I will discuss. Okay. So especially, yeah, thank you. Especially like this course consists of three main models. One is SQL Server, sorry, four models, 2012. MSBA. In MSBA, what are things that includes SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. So this course consists of the four models. One is SQL Server 2012, MSBA. In MSBA, what are things include SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. Let me give you some overview of each topics. Before starting to each topics, I will give you some idea about all my courses. See, all these four models have divided like each chapters. Each chapters have divided like this, and each topic again have folders, subfolders like assignment, reference, and trainings. What is this assignment, reference, and trainings? See, in the training, what are the things? What are the files we work in this class? Those things we keep it here. And references. For example, today I learned something. Tomorrow I want to refer. I want to refer. Then no need of go for some books or online help or anything. Here we prepare nice document for you guys for with a screenshot so that user can refer that. Because if you're having any doubts or any clarification, they can clarify with these references. And once this reference is referred, I will give some assignments. Once each class complete, I give some assignment so that I can understand how much you guys are able to understand, and if any corrections or any doubts, so that I can clarify in a higher level. Along with these all, what are the things I will provide? Each session, video sessions I will provide. See, currently one ongoing batch is going on. This is for SQL Server and MSBA itself. I will show you. See, each day sessions I will share with the dates and sessions, whether it's a new session 2, session 3, session 4, like this. So these are the like these videos each day. Once the class completes, I will share this video link to you guys. You can download it and view it. So, and also sometimes what happens, some emergency work is there, you will not able to attend the classes. That time also I will share the missed class video, and along with the documents and assignments and training files, everything I will share you. And apart from that, if any doubts and clarification require, one special class, and every weekend I conduct some special class to each of the consultant, so that they can discuss their doubts and concepts. So here we'll teach you in higher level, not in hurry worry. We will give you like slow, steady in the rest, because we in it slowly will teach you from introduction to higher level, so that folks can understand easily and reach to work. And also here, as I told you, here four models: SQL Server, SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. All four models consist of a chapter folders like this, and with a higher level assignments, reference, and training. Apart from these all, once all the sessions completes, we give you some interview tips and tracks, so that you can easy to clear some interviews. Sometimes our other colleagues, management people also help you to how to clear the interviews and everything. That is we Mohin will be take care of this. And along with that, what is the maximum help from technical side from my end, I'll surely assist you guys. And also here in the each chapter we'll discuss some case studies. Case studies in the means what is a regular, how company will be real time work for particular chapters. Let me say here I want to explain like sub queries or functions something. Then you will confusion like what is functions, why we use that and everything. So that time I will clarify you why we use the functions or why we use particular topic in our real time, and how organization will be work on that particular chapters. Those case studies will discuss you, and in each model having same thing if we have. And also I will conduct some quiz, SQL quiz. See, recently I gave some quiz to my folks. Currently, as I told you, quiz is like I want to show you what else quiz. So quiz is like each few of the models complete, I'll give you a quiz so that I can understand. So what are the, how much you understood and how much answers you are able to clarify. Those are stuff we'll discuss here. Okay. So one second, I will show you. Yeah, it takes 2 minutes. Okay. See, like this quiz, we share with the students so that they can answer it. They can answer what is the answer. They can send me back so that I can review and reply back that. So, like this quiz, we will send once the certain few 2 to 3 chapter completes. I will send this quiz to my consultant so that they can answer it and they can come up with the questions if any doubts and everything. So here, as I here. Time is precious to everyone, right? So here what the thing is, we have to make the time to properly, like this complete course consists of 60 to 70 hours, 60 to 70 hours, and it may always extend, not like it will always less than that. It's 60 to 70 hours. Plan is like every day 1.5 hours to 2 hours will take, because I don't want to overburden you guys if by taking the 2 hours. 1.5 hours for 6 days will take 5 to 6 days, like Monday to Saturday. So sometimes if a user having some, the consultants having some concerns about weekends or something, that time I will take only Monday to Friday, like a 5 day sessions I will take. So here this complete hours we need to make properly. Actually, the training will be depends on two things. One is trainer should be good as well as student should be interested. So those two things I always trust on that, and accordingly I will work out on that. So here in the each session, you will, in this 70 hours of session, you will not feel like bored, because in each session I'll give you some good thing and on topics so that you can feel it. Like you will learn think that okay, okay, I learned something special today, like that you can feel it. So like that, in a such a way we'll teach you. So let me give you some overview of why we using SQL Server in nowadays, and what is the use of SSIS, SSRs, and SSAs. After that, I'll go for some presentations where what are the concepts we cover. Okay, that is a plan. So, what is SQL Server? First, let me introduce MS.
Do I have to download this software in my laptop?
Yeah, I have a link. I will send you that. I have a link. I will send you every detail to your email ID so that accordingly you can download it. It's a free software.
Okay. Because like
Actually,
when I asked my friends, they told me they don't know how to do in Apple.
okay, even in Apple process,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think for this it's required for Microsoft Open OS. It's maybe Windows 7 or Windows 8.
I need to have
Yeah,
Windows.
yeah. I will help you out. After this session, I will discuss with you more detail about it.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, here first module we will cover MS SQL Server 2012. What is this MS first? And exactly what is this SQL? Why we use SQL? What is this server? So I will give you some introductions. So after that we'll go for some presentations about the actual topics which we cover in the class. Okay, I may take another 30 to 40 minutes of time. So guys, please with me. I will explain it. Okay, what is this MS SQL servers? MS means what? Everyone know Microsoft, right? SQL. What is this SQL? Why we
Yeah.
use SQL? Yeah, currently, how we communicating globally? We globally communicate with their own language called English. Language called English. Same. In SQL means is a structured query language which we use which we use to interact with the database. Structured query is a language which we use to interact with the database. Again, one more question arises. What is database? That is everything. Yeah, here there is a one common language which we use to interact with all databases. All databases in the sense, all data repository. All data repository, there is a one language that is nothing but a structured query language, which is a language we use to interact with all the databases. It may consider Microsoft tool, it may consider IBM tool, it may consider Oracle tool, any tool. This is a only common language which we use to interact with the databases. Again, what is server? Server is nothing but a workstation. Server is nothing but a workstation which we save the data. Server is a like workstation which we save the data. Here, before starting any classes, what we do, we make our local system. We make our local system as a server so that we can work offline. Like we can work offline in the sense. So see, it is my local server. Local server in the sense I made my laptop as my local server. So server is a repository where we can save the databases. Then what is my this one 2012? It's a version. It's a version. It's a why we use 2012 more. I will have to tell you. And what is this database? I will tell you. See what happens. I will tell you small story about Microsoft. So Microsoft, like our first, I will consider my ancestors. Our ancestors, how they work? They're using paper pens to maintain the data and to in terms of they put some rows and columns and everything. So day by day classes, what happened? They need some comfortable. They need some software, right? To make the save the data into save the data. That time Microsoft introduced MS Excel. The MX Excel, what happens? It consists of rows and columns where we can save the data. How much we can maximum save the data here? Initially 6 million. Max of 6 million. So after that, if it exceeds, for example, if we go, we created some account in the bank. Account in the bank. How we do daily, day by day classes. Our transaction we keep on growing. We day by day classes. Our transaction is keep on growing, which consists of 10 years of data. How much? Huge data. That time it's difficult to maintain here. That time it's difficult to maintain here. Again, what happened? They introduced some of the tool called MX Access with a limited options. Here, this data again we able to track by using MXS. That is also done, but still this is also not able to save that data. So again, the big challenge to the Microsoft where we can save the data, and also that data should be retrieved in a fraction of seconds, fraction of minute, able to retrieve the data. So that time they introduced a concept called MS SQL Server in the year of 2000. So here, why it is challenge here to save maintain data? See, data we can save here within fraction of second we can retrieve. For example, if you go cash point, you deposited some like 1,000 or $500 in your account. So if you withdraw $100. So how can we it understand it's your account only? How can we debit within fraction of second from your account only? Right? It's like good interaction is required from your cash point to some interaction. That time all the folks suggested MS SQL Server. It's a very fastest tool where user can interact in a fraction of seconds. So here, how it is useful? How can we say that it's a very useful? I will tell you one second. So here, where are we? Here we can able to see 6 million of record and here data able to use. That time still it is not introduced. This is still not introduced. So always one good point is Microsoft once they introduce any product to the market, they discuss with the expert saying that what are the drawbacks in that, what are the drawbacks available in the previous version. So those, if any drawbacks present, that can be tried to overcome in the next version. So same thing here also. They introduced MS SQL in the year of 97 to 2003. After that, the MS Office 2007 came and 2009 came. Now 2013 also came and 14 also came. Like this, every version before releasing new version, they introduce the expert. That version can be that drawbacks can be tried to overcome in the next version. Here same thing happened. Here they can able to show data here, data here, data here. But finally they're not able to control. They are not able to control. So that time they introduced called MS SQL Server 2000 with a limited edition. Here lot of disadvantage happen, lot of disadvantage here because it's having some limitation, so they are not able to save this some data to here, and with the experts discussed with the Microsoft saying that sir I require this, sir I require this. So that time they taken huge 5 years of time to give the new versions. Like this 2005 came and 2008 came and 2008 R2 came and 2012 came, 2014 came, now 2016 also came. Still we are in 15, still we get 2016 also came. But 99% of industry using this one only. And also good advantage of Microsoft is if you learn any version of this, you never forget. If they upgrade also, it's easy to upgrade from the users. I learned SQL Server in the year of 2002. Now it's a 2005, almost 13 years of journey. So much is easy to upgrade every year. And also good advantage of Microsoft SQL Server is if you learn this language, you can easy to switch any of the other databases language like Oracle, Teradata, or DB2 or anything, because syntax is exactly similar to the other database, and once you learn this, it's easy to switch other databases. And also I want to give you some overview of how our industry work with the help of MS SQL Server. Why we use MS SQL Server only, I will tell you now. So this is the small journey of Microsoft. Like MS is nothing Microsoft SQL Server. SQL is a structured query language. Server is nothing but a my workstation where we save the data. So before starting that some introduction, I want to tell you some story about that. The SQL Server consists of like this: server, databases, tables, concept, rows, columns. So let me give you overview of this. What is server? Server is nothing but a my workstation where we can save the data, where it's a data repository where we can save the one certain location. That is called my server. What is my databases? Databases is nothing but a collection of tables. Collection of tables where it consists of different tables. So collection of tables. Let me say. So you doing in the collection of tables in the tables. For example, you go and join some university. There, the university having certain courses list, like IT, finance, HR. But I'm the student, I can choose any one of that. Right? I am going for IT. That time, what happens every day, day by day, all the students come and join to taking admission to the that particular university. How it works? The department is universal, right? It's a static one where students can choose any one of them, right? So like this, tables consist of always two types. One is static and dynamic, where student can every day take on admission, that is called a dynamic. Static one is the one which will update very oftenly. So I will give you brief overview and more overview of these tables while taking the sessions. So here these kind of tables available. These tables we maintain in certain databases. As I told you, university and employer and office like this. So single group of data, single group of tables we called as a databases. That databases resides in some location. It is called as a server. And again, table consists of rows and columns. So here, how can we save the data in terms of rows and columns, right? So here also we maintain some rows and columns. Finally, we play with this data. We play with the data with the help of our commands with the SQL server or any of the database tool. This is a journey. This is a journey of this simple SQL server. Here we will go from downstream to upstream while explaining the upstream to downstream by explaining the SQL server sessions. Here I want to tell you how our exactly the organization work. Let me consider my company itself. Let me consider how my companies work. Exactly, you know that Dell is working for globally. The Dell is working for globally. They're having customers in complete global, right? So initially, the data providers are there. Data providers are there. They keep the data in terms of here Excel, CSV, and TXT files. Excel, CSV, and TXT files. So data providers, what they do, they feed the data used in a TBs, like they having 2000, 5000 of TBs of data. So how they keep? They keep it in a data. It's a huge database which can hold data about more than 2000, 5000 of TBs here. But we can't able to see this data. This is because highly secure mechanism they keep data, original data, because they want track everything. For example, here we have one more business called ERP. ERP is an asset recovery business. For example, today I purchased a laptop. Tomorrow I go and return the laptop. So that time the amount should be deducted from the daily transaction, and that is amount is credited to user account, right? Those are transaction happened here, and this is very critical database. So once the data is saved here, again another data repository, it's called Oracle, where it's consists of a country-wise data. Here the global data is available here, complete global data available here. This is like individual country like US, India, UK, like this. The data is saved here so that user can filter out the data easily with a minimum security. That is called here country. So now the data is saved here. The data is saved here. For example, data is saved. Once the data is saved, now let me consider. I want to check. For example, if you go and click www.dell.com, so it will give you within fraction of second. So like how, what is the configuration you require, and what are the price of that particular laptop, right? So this, let me consider this is my user interface. If you go and check here, within fraction of a second, it will give you all the data, and it will give you how many prices are required, and what is the like cost of laptop required, what is the configuration, everything within a fraction of second, right? So how it happens? It is because of they maintain the data in here. My MS SQL Server come into picture. Any web application, if you consider any web applications like .NET, Java, anything, still backend we use the MS SQL Server. So if a lot of technology came to market, still MS SQL Server rocks because of their unique features. So what are the unique features for MGIN compared to other databases? MS SQL Server is a very less cost effective, user friendly, highly scalable, and reliable, and user can fetch the record in a fraction of a second. You know that if you go some cash point with withdraw some amount within fraction of a second, how can it understand it's a your account, and within fraction of a second, how can it debit from your account? Everything because of my MS SQL Server. Here, MS SQL Server, 99% of industries, 99% of industries are preferably MS SQL Server because it's user friendly. You know that Microsoft is how it helpful for the users, right? It's very nice, and also here it's a free software. See, as I told you, it's a very free software, so everyone can enjoy the and feel it like this work. They can feel it and work easily. So because of these features, all the MS SQL Server we use, actually, especially in consider any big organizations also, they are taking these versions, and with the help of MS SQL Server, they're running business very well, very well. Trust me, MS SQL Server, if you don't, it's easy to switch on any of the database tool. This is also some of the database tool, but MS SQL Server, by learning MS SQL Server, you can play with the data, you can view the data, reference data. For example, country-wise data is same, but again it should be different city-wise. City-wise it should be distributed, right? City-wise is the data which you use data should be distributed. For example, I'm saying staying in India, Bangalore. So here, if I fetch that record within fraction of second, it should be fetch the record from global to global to here. How it fetch? Because of my MS SQL Server. Or almost all the web application they use MS SQL Server as my backend to save that data and daily transactions data, everything. And also if you go for any, if booking the flights or any concept, any railway booking or anything, everything interact with the SQL server only, because the SQL server is a one which fraction of second with a medium security they can provide you data, and they can show the data, they can show the reports and everything. So that's what I'm telling you. MS SQL Server is unique when compared to the other databases. And here it's not, there is no much limitation. Here also we can save more than 10 million or 20 millions of data easily. And also here it consists of n number of tables, n number of rows, and n number of columns. We can save this, but all the data we interact with this means of static and dynamic tables. Static and dynamic table, like it's our master table we create and transaction table we create. From that we can interact with it easily by master and dynamic table, transitions table. So while explaining the sessions, I will give you more idea about that. So what is static table, what are the dynamic table, why we use, and what are the necessity of the tables, why we use this MS SQL server in a higher level. Those are I will clarify in my sessions. Though that's what MS SQL server plays a very important role in compared in organizations. So the guys who know MS SQL very demand in the market, because the here we have to make this data in the we sitting in the backend, so we have to work on these all these stuffs in a higher level, not only small level, in a higher level. So once you learn, you will never forget this version. If keep on increasing the versions, as I told you, I learned this in the year of 2002 by version. This one I learned, but I keep on upgraded, and it's easy to upgrade it to these versions. And here there are only slight changes, but these three, these especially for these two, almost similar. Still few of the comments only changed. Other than that, everything is similar here. Okay, this is my small idea about MS SQL Server. So now my challenging part is the data is saved here. I retrieve the data from here and here. After that, I am saving here. But my challenging is sometimes the user don't want this. Let me say I'm running a small organization. I'm running a small organization. Data provider give me files like this. Data is like this. I want to save this data. I want to save this data directly. I want to pull data from the data providers. I want to save the data. How to save this? So this is a request raised by the experts in the year of to the Microsoft in the year of 2002. They asked the Microsoft, sir, I want to pull the data directly from here rather than going to some feeding the data manually here and manual here. Directly, I want here because I'm running a small organization. I don't. It's difficult to maintain here. That time, Microsoft took a lot, and they taken 5 years of time. They taken 5 years of time. In the year 2005, they introduced concept called DTS. What is this DTS? Data transfer service. What is this data transfer service? Data transfer service. What is this data transfer service? As the name indicates, we need to pull the data from some of the file, some of the sources. That data we need to transfer it and load it. That data we need to transfer it from here to here. SQL Server. It is called DTS. DTS is they introduced with a limited edition. Sorry, in the year of 2000. Sorry guys, I'm confused. In the year of 2000, they introduced DTS with a limited editions. With a limited options they introduce. But day by day classes user requirement is more. User requirement will be more. Like for example, let me consider data for organization. Here we have two category of data, right? One is male category, another is female category. Or let me say contractors or permanent employees. So I want to split the data. Business logic I want to implement. But here from this from details is difficult to implement. That time Microsoft taken 5 years of time. 2002 2005 they introduced called business intelligence. What is this business intelligence? It's a very richest tool, consists of three main models. This consists of three main models. It's called SSIS, SSRS, and SSES. What are these SSIS first? What is this SSIS first? SSIS is nothing but a ETL tool. What is ETL? Extract, transfer, and load. And full form of SSIS is SQL Server Integration Services. Here, SQL Server Integration is an ETL tool. Means extract means what? We have to pull the data from some of the sources. Transfer means what? We have to implement some business logic. As I told you, we need to split the data like male and female category separate, right? So those are business logic we implement here. And finally, we need to load it. So finally, we need to load it. So this is a very richest tool where we can do lot of operations. It is nothing but a integration. Integration, as a name indicates, we have to integrate all the data from different locations and load it the my database. So here SQL Server Integration Service is nothing but a ETL. ETL is nothing but extract, transfer my data and load it to my destination. Okay, this is done. Data is loaded. Finally, what we need to do? We need to one customized report. We need to some reports, right? That report they introduced called SSRS, that's but SQL Server Reporting Services, where it's kind of reports we can create our own report so that we can see that report how the data coming from source side, how it is saved and everything. So it is also Microsoft tool where we can create our own reports and we can generate the data. And also once the data is generated, we can export it in terms of PDF, Word, Excel or anything. We can create our own web link. We can create our own web link and we can see that data actually. So we can generated our own link and from that we can view which is our saved data. So here SSIS, SSRS stand. What is SSAS? SSAS is also one of the powerful tool. It's in a data warehousing. It is called as a data warehousing tool where we can analyze the data. It is nothing but a SQL Server analytics tool, analytic tool, where we can create our own KPI report, key performance report, dashboards from that data and everything. This is SSAS is also powerful tool, and also here we work on some MDX query. It's a multi-dimensional queries and create some cubes and measures. What are these cubes and measures? Like we can see the data. The data is loaded from the database, right? The data we can see is in the different dimensions, 2D dimensions and 3D dimensions. See here, analytics part is very important in the organization where they can see the data and they can understand where is our company is. Okay. Yeah. Rachana, you able to hear my voice? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
You able to hear my
Yeah.
voice?
Hello.
Yeah, you able to hear my
Yeah.
voice? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you do me one favor? Can you ping that the Gautami maybe arrange some internet problem is there? Okay, no problem. We'll
Yes.
yeah. Here, I because I am unable to chat here. Once I share my screen, I am unable to chat. Okay.
Okay.
Mm. Okay, no problem. Yeah, Gautami, you able to hear my voice? Hmm? Hello, Gautami.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Hello.
Samish. Yeah, Gautami, you able to hear my voice?
Sometimes I'm able to hear, sometimes it's
Okay.
breaking. I don't know
Okay.
what is the reason.
Maybe from your end, maybe because
Yeah.
Rachana able to hear my voice. Anyway, once this session complete, I will share this video. No, will come to know.
Yeah, okay.
I will share this video to you and Rachana. What are the sessions that happens today? Okay, I'll send you the links for
Yeah,
you
okay.
both.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Here, the data is saved. The data is saved. So that data we need to view, right? The data we need to view in different dimensions, like where is the data and how is the data loaded, and in which way data is shown in the reports. Those things we can analyze from my SSAS tool. This is my analytics tool. So if you install SQL Server 2012, SQL Server 2012. These are all the models. These four models. It's a complete package. It's a complete package. You can able to install these four models. What these are the four models. It will come by default if you install complete SQL Server 2012 in your workstation. So these are the benefits of all my models, and also plan is like that SQL Server and SSIS. It's very important tools. Here we spend more time on SQL Server SSIS. After that, RS and AS. Here also it is also some of the important tools. Here also we come. Plan is like we take 15 hours of this, 15 hours of this, almost 15 to 20 hours. SQL Server we takes almost like 25 to 30 hours because we want to make you master in that, then only we can easy to work. So here more time we will spend, 25 to 30 hours we will spend here, and for exercises again we'll spend 20 hours, 20 hours of sessions we'll spend here. So this is a plan. It's, as I told you, it's always not on stick on to some of hours, sometimes it extend. See here itself, if you consider 25, 45, 45 plus 30, 75 hours of training it will take. But I don't want to compromise any of the topic because it may extend as not an issue for me, but guys should be understand very neatly. That is a plan actually. So here itself 25, here at SQL Server we give you small from scratch to higher level we teach you. Once the guys become master in that with the assignments and everything, like with the case studies and everything, then we jump on to SSIS. Once the guys will be master in this with the assignments, document and everything, then we go for AS, and after that AS. And also as I told you, each topic complete day by day files I will share with the consultants, and along with the video link and along with the working files and everything. So these are about my topics. So I will take you guys to presentation. So just give me a 1 minute of time. So after that we'll go for some presentations. Just 1 minute. I'll be back. Sorry friends, I'm back. Yeah. So these are the models we teach in our sessions: SQL Server 2007, SSIS, SSRS, and SSAS. So before going to the presentation, any concerns about this? Any doubts in the? Any clarification required, guys? Rachana, do you have any doubt? Gautami, do you have any doubts? Yeah. Hello. Hello. Rachana, do you have any doubt? Gautami? Hello. Gautami? Are you there? Hello, Rachana?
Hello? Yeah?
Yeah. So shall we continue? Continue?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So okay. See, I'm taking you some presentation about the courses. So what are the topics I cover? So as I told you, I'm taking a presentation of all my four models. I will take one by one. So this is my SQL Server 2012. So here in the first chapter we'll discuss what are the SQL Server 2012 and how can we configure our SQL Server 2012, and what is how to create our own server our own workstations, and what is the naming convention, what are the rules we need to follow. Those are stuff we'll discuss in the first chapter. In the second chapter, we'll discuss what is exactly the databases, how can we save our databases files, and what are the different files are available. So how can we design our databases, and in the once a database save, how can we create our own tables, and everything we'll discuss here. In the third chapters, as I told you, some of the operation. So see, server is able to say server is ready. Next database is ready. What is my next level? I showed no that here upstream to downstream, like server database is ready. Once the tables are ready, so how can we say insert the data to rows and columns, and finally how to play with the data. So like this hierarchy is like this here. So once a database is created, so in the tables how can we do the some of the operations like insert, update, and delete operations in my SQL server, that is we handle here. In this way, some of the rules we see data anyone can save, but we need to avoid the duplicates. For example, junk comes, so we should not work on that junk data. So how can we do this to rectify that junk data? That is we work here. And what is that next? For example, if the data is saved, how can we interlink with the tables with the concept called joins? So how can we use the joins? How can we fetch the record from using a joins? Those are stuff we discuss here. And on here again we have subqueries and nested queries. Subqueries is like query within the query. What is the use of this? And nested queries, why we use that? Everything we'll discuss here with the examples and case studies in here. Everything will with the case studies why we use. And hello Gautami. Yeah, here, Gautami, I want to give you some overview of what are the chapters we give here. So these are the chapters we give. First one is a chapter one. We discuss like what is SQL Server, why we use SQL Server, what is the use of SQL Server. In the chapter second, we can, as I told you, how can we create our own hierarchy, like how can we create our server databases, and once the database is ready, how can we insert create our own tables. Once a table is ready, how can we insert data to rows and columns. Finally, how can we play with this data. So everything in detail with the case studies we discuss here. So once the data is saved, certain rules and regulations we need to follow to avoid the duplicate values. To see, for example, some certain government fixed some rules, right? Based on that rule, we are working, right? So same thing in database also. Some of the rules we need to follow. That rules, what are those rules? Why we use that rules, and everything we discuss here. So once the data is saved in a different tables, data is saved in a tables. So how can we retrieve? For example, as I told you, there are two tables, one is static and dynamic. How can we pull the record from more than one tables and show it to the user? Those are things we discuss here. And how can we use subqueries? Subqueries is nothing but a query within a query. So how can we interact with the query within a query? So how can we dependency queries? How can we create? And everything we discuss here. Once it's done, so there are some virtual tables we need to create because to maintain the security. So those are things we discuss in this chapter. So here, see, you know that every day 1 crore of records in the table in the database. It's like let me say 10 millions or 20 million, 100 millions of data present in a table. So how can we know that currently particular record I want? So within fraction of second, how it works? So there is some concept called indexing, that is we work here. In this chapter we'll show you like how can we improve the performance, how can we fetch that within fraction of second. Those are stuff we discuss here. So store procedure, for example, as I told you here, we have application. For example, if I give my name like Sandeep and search, I click the button search. So how can we create within fraction of second, how can user I able to see the data, user data here, my data, regulated data within fraction of, if you click search button, how can we able to see? So because of my stored procedures. So here I will show you, this is a very important chapter. I will show you like how can we create our own stored procedure. So how user defines stored procedure, how can it understand like you what you looking for, and how can it understand like within fraction of second, how can we show this. This is called my stored procedures and its benefits and everything we discuss here. So here, for example, certain rules. For example, you want to see correct particular play age of the report, age of the person, or from how long the user employees will be working in your organization. Everything you want to define your own. That is called user defined function. Here we work on this in a higher level. Everything in a higher level we discuss here in this chapter, and also in this 10th chapter is triggers, where we can audit purpose. For example, you want to see how many employees joined today, how many employees relieved from the organization, how many employees are laid off from the organization. Everything we want to track. This is called auditing purpose. That is called my triggers. Here we can use triggers to maintain the audit purpose. That is also we discuss in this chapter. And finally, like the data is saved. Your data is saved. Like 10 numbers of data is saved here. One row, second row, third row, fourth, third row, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, nine. We save this data. So how can we fetch one by one detail, one by one detail? In terms of report set, you want to fetch one by one. You want to say we one by one complete set, one by one. You want to see. So this is called cursors. So from using cursors, we can do this. And also there is a new concept called CTE. It's a common table expression. It's work like a temporary table where we can save the data and retrieve the data. That is also we discuss here. And finally, like transactions and procedures in a real time. What is transaction? Say, for example, today I saved this data. Some mistakenly I deleted this. By mistake, I want to read this data again, just like a delete. Like you know that delete how it works. They save it in a recycle bin. If you want, you can get it from the recovery from the uncheckable bins, something, right? So here also same thing. In a SQL server, we can play with that. This is called my transactions. So here is for as a topic I kept as 12 chapters, but more than that you can expect from me, because here as I told you, I don't want to compromise after any of the topics. Here these many chapters I have. So as I told you, each chapter again we have folders like assignment, reference, and training sets. So this is just I gave in some overview of SQL Server sessions. Now I will take, before taking you to IS, RS, and AS, I want to ask you any questions, Rachana uh, and Gautam. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
As of what I have heard, I don't have any questions in that.
Okay, yeah, I can understand. This is still first class, like a demo class. So once you go through everything, then only come to that. Okay, not an issue.
Mm.
So we'll open the next slide now. Rachana,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah, okay, thank you. So next slide, it's I will take you another 5 minutes, guys. Please don't mind. Okay, yeah, this is all my MSBI trainings. Here also same thing. We'll same this fashion. We will save the data in terms of like this training, reference, and assignments. Here this is my MSBI tool. And out of that is SSIS. It's a small project of SSIS. Here different tools we are using. These different tools I will tell you, like what is the use of this tool. This is very user friendly tools where we can use these all the options to make our data is meaningful. So those are the stuff we'll discuss here in SSIS. Also we'll discuss like one by one. I'll take you here what is SQL integration service, why we use this, and what is the use of benefits of this. As I told you, if a user wants to pull the data from directly from different sources, like rather than SQL server, if they want to pull the data from CSV, TXT, or any of the file, so how can we work on this? That is we discuss here. And also here how the real-time industry organization is working and with the help of SSIS, that is we discuss here. And here what is my data to see here. Initially they called this one as a business intelligence in the year of 2005 we called as a business intelligence, but 2012 we gave as a new name called as a server data tools. Server data tools. So those are the why we call server data tools, what are the options they are incorporated. And here again we will get a lot of windows. It's like if you open this project, it's a free software, guys. So if you install a SQL server, you will get it. So these are the tools we are using to make our data is meaningful. That is we discuss, and these are the windows with the some of the options. That is also we will discuss. It's a very rich beauty of SSIS. While explaining, it's 1 hour is also not enough while giving a demo about these SQL server tools. But I want to make you understand at small level so that you can get some idea about that. So these are the tools for SSIS that is we discuss here. What is the menu options, what is the property symbol, everything we'll discuss. And here one by one tool with what is the beneficial of one tool. For example, today I keep my files in one server. I want to transfer that server to another server manually. You don't want to work. Here some of the tools we use to take care of this. Okay, here these are the my data flow. Data flow means here you can pull the data from different sources on different destinations. That is we work on this. And here what is the configuration we use and what is the use of SSIS configuration window. Those are stuff we discuss here. So here again, you know that error we get, it's a human intelligence, like some purposefully or not purposefully we get an error, right? So we not should be keep quiet if error comes. So how can we handle that? That is we discuss here in error handling. And finally advanced level, like what is the advanced level in the data flow we'll discuss, like how can we use my advanced tool in the data flows. And here some of the coding part, like here there is no coding is required for any .NET coding or VB.NET coding, but though we'll give you small coding part, some script tasking we'll introduce here, so that user can feel it like if you want to write something, some message box should be pop up like this data is correct, this data is not correct. That script will teach you here in this chapter, SSIS chapter. So finally, now this is repeated one. Yeah. Finally, analytics tools. As I told you, it's a 3D dimension tool. Here are the couple of chapters we incorporated. So what is that overlap modeling? Why we use modeling? What is that KPI report? Like key performance reports. How can we create our own dimensions? How can we create our own tables? And how can we view that data in the 3D dimension? How can we use drill down report and everything in SSAS? So this is my SSAS, and once SSAS done, we'll take you for reporting purpose. Like as I told you here, see, I want to show you sample report. This is my SSRS report where we can create, see here, I can create our own report, and once the report is done, how can we export in PDF format or Word format. It is also very richest tool. Here we give you everything in a detail. How can we create our report? How can we create our drill down report? How can we pass the parameter? Pass the parameter in the sense, for example, if you pass the content of Sandeep related information should be come in your report. That report you can export it to some other PDF or Word format. That report you can mail to users. Sometimes scheduled report are there. Scheduled report in the sense, this report automatically every day updated report goes to the user. Let me say 10 a.m. CST. Some data should be goes to some users. Yes, we can schedule it. It's nothing but a subscription. From that, it will go and take care of that. Those are the stuff we'll discuss here, and it's a very rich of rich tools where we can discuss all the reports, some of the ad hoc reporting. Here some user having some other customized information that we can create our own report here. And also apart from these all, so as I told you, here data is loading from pulling from some of the source, some of the loaded. That's fine. Every day I can't do manually, right? Every day I can't more do that. In certain time it should be scheduled. In certain time it should be scheduled. It should be default. It should be take care of that. It may be offline or online. For example, my workstation is open, my laptop is open. There is a concept called SQL Server job. It's a final chapter where we can schedule our jobs. Here once you schedule our jobs, it will run automatically. See, for certain 10 a.m. CST, the data should be load from one server to another server. Yes, it is taken care of by default, because manually every day we can't do that. Those are stuff we'll discuss. Apart from these all, we have discussed those are stuff also, like how to make scheduling, how can we make dynamic and everything. It's a big ocean. So we try to do the best, so that user will be feel it like once it completed a course, they don't know, he or she no need of learning again, because our course consists of maximum level and give you very richest concepts, so that user feel it and enjoy these concepts. That is our plan, guys. So this is more small and big demo sessions. So please let me know any questions, Archana and Rachana and Gautam.
I'm fine, Sandeepa.
Sorry, Gautami, is it fine, Gautami? So
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
yeah. So here, Gautami, I try to, as I told you, I try to give you overview of everything, but its concepts and concept it's a huge again. So that is really detailed in the sessions. We'll discuss more about that. Anyway, this video session link I will send you because you got some interruption, right? But you can expect this video link within 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that you can download it,
Yes.
this video and see
Thank you.
this. Yeah. And what about Rachana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I'm like completely new, so I'm lost.
No problem, I can understand because this, as I told you, like it's very big one, but at least you got it like some foundation, like why we use a SQL Server in a real time. So what is the necessity in industry? Some of the idea you got it at least. Hope you got something right.
So this, presentation will be available.
Sorry, hello, hello, Rachana.
Yeah.
Tell me, can you repeat me?
So like we will be able to look these slides after disconnecting, or where can we get the?
Like you want this video session or something? I'm not able to get you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Like after these sessions, I will share with you these presentations and this video session for you both. Okay, I will share with you guys. I have you Rachana and Gautami's mail ID, so you both I will send you. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Sandeep.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your time, Gautami and Darshana. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.